The Rock Metal Podcast, episode 237 with dEMOTIONAL. All right, Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That sample you just heard was Invincible by dEMOTIONAL, who I've got on the show with me right now. We've got a couple new singles we're going to be listening to today, and right now I'm being joined by Killian Power, share some stories about the music and share more info about the band. So Killian, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, my good man. Let's go and listen back to that track, Invincible. Coming back from Invincible, definitely a killer track. I'm curious, what is the story or inspiration behind Invincible?
Well, actually, when we wrote that song, we didn't have an album in mind or something like that. We had a plan that we were only going to release singles and only strong independent songs, basically. But after writing that and also Dreamer's Light, we felt that, damn, we miss working on an album. So so the story about those two songs, and Invincible in special, is just we wanted to see if we can only create like strong independent hit singles that can stand on their own 2 feet, because it's a little bit different way of working. When you're working with songs on an album, you have to think like concept and how they work together with each other. So that was a new experience for us, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny you mentioned a strong, independent song. It made me think of the, I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. So I'm a strong independent song. I don't need no album.
Exactly.
Now I'm curious, when it came to writing the tracks, I mean, you mentioned that it was the first time doing it without an album. Was it just to see if you guys could write the tracks, or were you thinking of taking a break from writing an album?
Well, it feels like albums today isn't really. I don't think that's maybe the best way to release new music, but it's a fun way to work with albums. So we still want to do it anyways. But the reason we did it, we just wanted to create music and to be able to deliver it to the audience more consistent, like every other month or so.
Absolutely. Now I'm curious, when it came to the lyrics for Invincible, what inspired the lyrics?
It's pretty cheesy, but that song is actually about my mother. So,
right.
So the lyrics is basically about you're not strong on your own all the time. You take some bad turns, but there's always that one person, whether it's your partner or your mother or your brother or whoever it is, who just helps you and makes you feel freaking invincible, dude.
No, I think that's a massive compliment, and as cheesy as it sounds, I'm sure she appreciated it.
Yeah, I think so.
You're a strong, independent woman. Don't need no man.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who dug the track Invincible, will be excited to know that there is a music video. So if you go ahead and go to today's show notes at www.therockmetalpodcast.ca, you can check it out. Now, Killian, if you wouldn't mind taking us behind the production for the music video for Invincible.
That's a special one, actually, because we just came back from an European tour. And we did this tour together with 3 other bands, The Unguided, Beneath My Feet, and Eyes Wide Open, 3 Swedish metal bands that are pretty big over here. And we just got out and rocked the shit out of Europe. But before we went on the tour, we actually made, each and every band made a music video that related to each other. So if you look at all the 4 music videos in one sequence, it's one video. So the Invincible video is actually part of a bigger picture, like a promotion video thing that we did for this tour.
Very cool stuff. All right, let's go listen to the next track, Dreamer's Light.
Dreamer's Light.
Before for where we are, let's go.
Rock Metal Nation, it's John from the Rock Metal Podcast for a real quick break to let you know that Jay over at Metal Mayhem Radio is looking to help you get your band in rotation on his station. So go ahead and hit up Jay at studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. That is studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. Just go ahead and say that the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. He'll get you into rotation on Metal Mayhem Radio. Coming back from Dreamers Light. Almost kind of ballady in a way, kind of.
A little softer, a little bit more mellow.
Yeah. Now, you did mention earlier that, the scope in mind of Dreamers Light as well as Invincible was to create strong independent songs that don't need no album, which would be Dreamers Light. But, at the same time, what was going on that inspired the track Dreamers Light, or maybe the lyrics for Dreamers Light?
I think I do all the lyrics writing for the songs, and I if I remember correctly, I think I was inspired from must have been some kind of movie I've seen, or maybe it was a video game or something. But I had this concept of a family running away, so it's running away from like all the bad things that we managed to create here on Earth, and they're trying to find a new, better place, like metaphorically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Dreamers Light is like this family are the dreamers, and they're searching for the light. So it's kind of weird, but I had this concept in my head, and I just wrote what I was thinking and what I envisioned, and this is what I came up with. So
yeah, a family running away to start a better life somewhere else.
Yeah,
that sums up my whole life. That's North America right there.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who dug the two tracks, Invincible and Dreamers Light, and are super excited to hear what's coming up next, that's my next logical question, Killian, is, well, what's coming up next for Demotional?
The next thing is actually that we just we talked with a producer that we wanted to work with for such a long time. For the past two albums, we've been working with Pontus from Dead by April as a producer, but now we're going to start working with a new guy that has worked with huge bands, and we got the opportunity to do an album with him, and we're pretty excited about that. So we said, like, hey, you know what? Screw this single concept. Let's do an album. We want to do this. So we're heading for a studio really soon to do that.
Cool. All right. Well, the next logical question on Rock Metal Nation's mind is, how can we find out more about you? Is there a website that we should go to?
Yeah, we have dEMOTIONAL.net if you want to see. There we have everything summarized. But if you want to be a little bit more social with us, you can just Google Demotional, and you'll find us on Instagram and Facebook and all the social platforms.
Cool. All right. Well, Killian, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing Demotional with Rock Metal Nation.
Thank you so much. Really nice to be on the show, and it was my pleasure.
All right, Rock Metal Nation. Hope you just found your favorite band in Demotional. Big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.